Hi, it's Larry the Llama here. How you doing? For the last dozen years or more, we've been fighting the war on terror, right? Since the whole 9/11 tragedy, we've been killing terrorists wherever we could find them. Even bin Laden we got. I know it took 11 years, but the Mountie always gets his man, as they say up in Canada. But there's one country where terrorists seem to walk about free as birds without a care in the world. The United States of America. And who are these terrorists? They're Cubans. I'm not talking about Cubans in Cuba. I'm talking about the anti-Castro Cubans down in Florida who carry out acts of terrorism against Cuba because they don't like Fidel or his brother or whoever is in charge over there these days. And these guys don't mess about. They've blown up hotels in Cuba. They even blew up a passenger airline that killed 78 people. In all, they've bumped off 3,500 people in Cuba over the years, and our government just turns a blind eye. Now, the Cuban government got mighty pissed off with these guys killing their citizens, so they sent a handful of their own Secret Service to Florida to infiltrate these anti-Castro groups there and try to stop them carrying out any more terrorist attacks on their country. Well, makes sense. We'd do the same, right? So these Cuban undercover guys found out all sorts of plans for terrorist attacks against Cuba, and they shared this information with the FBI. But what did the FBI do? They arrested the Cuban undercover cops themselves. That's right. And 5 of them were tried and convicted in a Florida court and sentenced to hundreds of years in prison. We arrested the guys who were trying to stop the terrorists, and we threw them in prison. With no rights, even their families couldn't visit them. This case smells bad to me. Whatever you think about Cuba, and I hear they got some great beaches, but for some weird reason my government won't allow me to go there, because I'm a U.S. citizen, not because I'm a llama, I mean. But I think bygones should be bygones. We get on great with Vietnam these days. President Nixon even went to China. It's time to bury the hatchet with Cuba. Obama could start by letting these Cuban cops out of prison. Then maybe we could all get to enjoy some Cuban sunshine. Not to mention the music and the rum and the girl llamas. Hey, don't get me started.